What we see here in this paddock is evidence of rabbit grazing. We can see the areas where the rabbits have come down, we can see the dung heaps and the scratchings, and rabbits are creating a significant impact on this site at this point in time. Spotlight monitoring shows about 30 rabbits per spotlight kilometre, and it's time to run a baiting program, which is the first part of an integrated best practice rabbit management program. What we'll focus on today is the baiting component of that best practice. Well, Brad, you've got a bait layer here, which you can use for either carrot or oat bait. Could you just show us how it's used? What's the mechanism that is employed to use a bait layer?
Well, the components are, Tim, that there's a disc that we use which is put onto the ground to put a furrow into the ground so the bait can fall into the furrow. So that's simply done by lowering that, putting some pressure on that to create that furrow. Then all we do is engage the wheel, putting the tension on these straps. That'll allow the barrel to turn, and then once that starts turning, we can open up these chokes to allow the bait to fall into the furrow, and depending on the uptake of the bait, we can open or close these as we need. The two types of bait we use, Tim, are oats and carrots. In this particular case, we're going to use oats. It's really important that the bait that's used is fresh. So that's a really important bit. As you can see, these ones here, they're really fresh, they're plump, they're ready to go. It's really important, Tim, that you put the bait out late in the afternoon and not first thing in the morning.
Brad, how do you know where to lay the bait?
Well, Tim, I've done my assessments. I know where the VRAN systems are, I know where the feeding zones are, and I've put the bait out in such a way that all those areas are covered, giving all the rabbits in the area an opportunity to get to the feed.
So how do we know how much bait to lay?
Well, looking at the uptake, Tim, there's quite a lot of it is gone. The next free feed that I do, I'll put out a little bit more, so I'll open the chutes a little bit more to ensure that all the rabbits in the area get to the feed site and don't miss out.
What is a free feed?
Well, a free feed is a non-poison bait, and the reason we do the free feeds is we're introducing a new food source to the rabbits, and we need to establish a feeding behaviour. Okay, I've done my two non-poison feeds with 2 to 3 days in between each. I've monitored those, and now we're ready to put the 1080 feed out, which is what we've done here. There is also an application scale available.
We've seen the process for 1080. What's the process for a pindone program?
Well, a pindone program involves 1 free feed and 3 pindone feeds, 2 to 3 days apart. Now that information is all contained on the directions of use.
Using a bait layer is one method that you can use to lay bait. What's another method that you could use?
Well, if you're on small acreage, you could use a mattock and put a furrow in the ground. The reason why we put a furrow in the ground is the turned soil is an attractant, and it brings the rabbits in to investigate the feed.
You've just laid the poison bait. What do you do next?
Well, the next morning I check the trail, then I go out and I pick up all the affected rabbits, and then I'll come back and I'll cover the bait trail to ensure that there's no baits remaining.
If you want more information on best practice rabbit management, check out the VRAN website. For information on the use of the product, read the directions of use that are available on each product label.